So for Halloween, we bought our kid this nice night set on Amazon for $30 freaking, and it fell apart in days. It's a total piece of crap, so I'm gonna torch it. This is junk. Welcome to Mighty Things. Today we're going to talk about some products that we actually use and recommend with our kids. Now this is not a sponsored video, so we're going to give the honest truth about each thing. And if you want more details, take a look at the link in the description. We have a full post with more that you can find.
Sounds good. Let's get started. What do we have first?
So our first product is a gel blaster, Starfire XL specific model. Think miniature paintball gun or airsoft gun. Kids can run around the yard shooting each other and the water beads explode and then disappear. So it's great for around the house. Kids love them to get outside. The main drawback to these is they are battery powered and the batteries run out constantly. Don't trust the battery monitor. Basically you need to charge them for each use. But otherwise, they're a lot of fun.
Next up, we have a very classic Red Ryder BB gun. Your granddad may have had one of these.
Don't shoot your eye out.
Yeah, that's right. Don't shoot your eye out. That's maybe one of the downsides is you need to make sure kids exercise proper safety, wearing safety glasses, not shooting windows out. But it's really fun for kind of training target practice and even basic gun safety handling skills. So definitely a really fun gift idea.
So speaking of shooting things, we have a youth archery set. This is not a fancy compound bow or anything like that. It's just a very basic bow. Kids can go out in the back and pretend to be Robin Hood. They can shoot at paper targets, cardboard, all of that. You can get sets of arrows because you will lose these. Usually these are very durable. They last for a long time and the kids love using them. The one drawback, besides safety, you do need to watch them, is if you have older kids who are really getting into archery, you are going to need a nicer bow. These are very basic. They're good for younger kids and just kind of playing around in the backyard.
Great. Well, let's talk about these Walkie Talkies here. So our kids really enjoy these. They're great for camping trips. They have a light on them, so you can use them as a flashlight. Also, just kind of running into the backyard, down to the creek, and communicating back to the house, going on pretend missions.
I'm in the house.
Come here.
The only downside is the batteries do run out pretty quickly, so we usually get rechargeable batteries. And sometimes these get left out in the rain and destroyed, but the kids really enjoy them.
All right, we have another classic here, slot cars. Now these come in all different sizes. You can get the bigger cars, smaller. This is kind of your intermediate version. But the cars have wire brushes on the bottom that connect to the tracks with a magnet. And kids can use the speed guns to make them go. And then they can configure the tracks, do loops and spins and all sorts of things. They get hours of fun. Main drawback on these is just that they will wear out over time. So you have to replace the brushes on the cars. And kids will leave the track out and then step on them because kids. So you will have to replace pieces of track. But they are interoperable with the system. It's Carrera is what we have, and you can buy replacement parts.
Let's talk about these Estes Rockets. My kids love these, but your kids actually recently purchased them. So tell us a little bit about how that went.
Yeah, so we have a full article on how to use these rockets. They're essentially model kits. So you get them, you glue the fins on, put the stickers on, and then you add in an actual rocket engine and a parachute, and they will launch up hundreds, even thousands of feet.
3, 2, 1.
So really great for kids who love STEM.
It worked.
Also good for kids who just like blowing things up. One caveat being you have to treat these as almost disposable. You will eventually lose them. So next up we have metal earth model kits. So these are essentially sheets of metal that come and you punch out the pieces and then you assemble them as a model. So if you have older kids who are just burning through Lego sets, this might be a better option. They're pretty complicated to put together. Now you do need some special tools. There are pliers and stuff to bend the tabs in. But they look really cool when they're done and I just thought it was a really unique product.
All right, so next up we have this backpacking pack. This is a kid size, and it's basically just like an adult's backpacking pack. It's got the waist belt, it's got the head bag, and our kids really love these because it makes them feel really official when you go on a backpacking trip. We actually have a full video and article about how to take kids backpacking, so be sure to check that out. But these are really, really great gifts. The only downside is they're a little pricey. This one's very high quality, so it's better if you want to get into the sport and take them multiple times, but otherwise it's a really good option.
Another option for kids who like to get out and shoot trees or boxes, we have a wrist rocket. Now this is basically a slingshot, except it has the wrist support, which makes it a lot easier to aim and draw back. So our boys really love these to get out and just shoot at trees. You can purchase these clay ammo balls with them. So just look for slingshot ammo, and the clay balls just disintegrate when they hit a target. So it makes it easier because you don't have to look for rocks, and they're also probably a little bit safer for your windows.
All right, so we have another really classic kids toy, which is a remote control car. My kids have had multiple remote control cars. They do tend to break a lot, but this is yours. Why don't you tell us about this?
Yeah, absolutely. So
Yeah.
we do recommend these with the caveat they'll break. But this specific model, which I'll link to, is been really good. It's super fast. The kids do really cool jumps with it and that sort of thing. So recommend these. The kids just love RCs, but again, they won't last forever.
So a couple things that we couldn't show you here today are a zip line and a trampoline.
Yeah, so we found a trampoline is actually the #1 thing to get our kids outside. Super classic. Not going to tell you too much more than that, other than just be careful because we have had a broken bone.
You didn't tell us that. You disclosing that? Sorry.
Disclosing it.
All right, so another thing is a zip line. I have a zip line in my backyard. You have a zip line in your backyard. They're really fun. It kind of adds an obstacle course activity or some fun activity for kids to do in the backyard. Our zip line goes over our creek and yours goes off to your tree house.
That's right.
So they're really fun. You get them in different lengths, like 75 feet, 100 feet, 150 feet.
Yeah, that's when we have guests over, the #1 thing kids like doing besides trampoline is getting out on the zip line. So a solid option.
All right, so we have hoverboards here.
Yes, hoverboards. You've doubtless seen kids zipping around on these on parks.
Getting no exercise whatsoever.
Exactly. We'll talk about that in a second.
Yeah.
So if you already have bikes, you already have scooters, all those things, and you're looking for something new, hoverboard's a good option. Kids can stand on them and just lean to go. Or you can get an attachment for a go-kart, which means they can sit in the seat, and that's a little bit safer for younger kids. So they're a lot of fun. Caveats being they're battery powered, so you have to keep them charged. And they're also a bit of an imagination killer. I'd rather our kids be exercising on a bike, but they love these things anyway.
All right, so perhaps the most classic kids gift is a bike, and this is a mountain bike. Our kids love mountain biking. We have some trails near us that they go on all the time. This one is just like an adult bike in that it has a front shock, it's got the shifter. It's even fun to ride around the neighborhood and go off of jumps. Be sure to check out a video we have on how to build like a bike ramp that you can use in your yard or your neighborhood. But this is just a really awesome gift. Now, one of the downsides is this is a little more expensive, especially if you get something quality.
Yeah, and what you'll find is with Walmart bikes, they tend to be really, really heavy. So the higher quality bike, the better brands, they're just gonna get lighter, which means they're a lot easier for kids to use on trails.
All right, guys, thanks so much for watching. We hope you enjoyed this video, and if you've got any ideas you think others would benefit from, put them in the comments below. Also, we do have more information and links to a lot of these products in a link in the description, so be sure to check that out if you want more information. And also, please like or subscribe if you enjoyed the video today. We've got more content rolling your way. Thanks again for watching. See you next time.
What's your favorite part about Jellics?
Shooting people at close range.